Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon 3Ds. In the last episode we left off catching a couple of new Pokemon. In today's episode we're going to go to SILPH's Co, where we're going to fight a number of trainers, and most of those trainers are going to be between about level 20 and 25, maybe like high 20s in some cases, and those are going to be a lot of rocket grunts. But then we also have the destined rival fight, the thing that in any playthrough of this game I play, this fight messes me up, and his highest level Pokemon is actually level 40. So yeah, I was going to not grind too much, and then I saw that, and then I looked up, okay, but maybe that's like just a one-off thing, right? So let's look at Giovanni's Pokemon, because that's going to be the final boss of Saffron City. And Giovanni's ace Pokemon is level 41. So what I did, and this might mean that the first half of this episode is going to be ridiculously easy, is I made everybody level 38. So let's go through. Everybody's now fully evolved as well, I do believe. So let's take a quick look at the team. That being, Thanos is now finally in Alakazam and has gotten Psychic. And then we have Blaze, which now is a Charizard and has no good moves. Well, it's gotten Slash. And I probably should give it Fly as well, because I don't have Destroyer anymore. I have got Zone, which still is a Magneton, because obviously Magnezone does not exist. But look at that special stat, 114! It's got Thundershock as its best move. I had a Thunderbolt TM in the PC. I should probably teach that to Zone. Then we've got Nick, which learned literally nothing new, I think. Yeah. I don't know if Nick is going to learn anything new, to be honest. Then we try to use Cut on the air with Venom, which is a more balanced Pokemon, but also because of that probably a little bit worse, which I don't think has changed either. But Leech Life and Mega Drain is probably going to end up being very useful, and Lee has gotten Ice and Fire Punch, which actually are good moves. So let's go to the Pokemon Center and pick up the Thunderbolt TM before we go into SILPH's Co, because I definitely want Thunderbolt on Zone before we go in there, because it's gonna be better than Thundershock, or maybe it probably even has one of those useless moves, right? I also cleaned up my inventory a little bit, that's why I don't have the TM with me anymore. I do have the 2 Moonstones, the Helix Fossil, a couple Pokeballs, the Max Ether, a Super Rod, HMO2, Soda Pop Lemonade, and Fresh Water, because I didn't know which one to bring. I guess I've got some extra healing items. A Poke Fluid, which something in my head is like Poke Fluid doesn't work in Gen 1 to wake up Pokemon. I've got an Awakening, a Hyper Potion, 1 Great Ball, 16 Super Potions, and 3 Antidotes, so I should be fine. I just want everybody to know that I am now buying healing items. That's the wrong PC box. Everything, by the way, is level 38, so should something die, I can immediately replace it. I'm going to stop doing that from the next grinding session on, because our box is filling up rather quickly. And it takes so fucking long to grind everything up to a high level, especially since the level curve in Pokemon Yellow is all over the fucking place. I don't know which TM it is, so I guess we just take all of the TMs. And the SS ticket, and then just blaze everything back as soon as we find out what Thunderbolt is. It's probably not TM7 because I've got 2 of those. Let's just look at the back as it is, and I know that this is like wasting a little bit of time here, but we should be fine, because I don't think SILPH's Co will take that long in this playthrough. Usually it takes me quite a while to complete. Also, sitting back a little bit, I lean forward quite a lot naturally, and I'm trying to like correct that a little bit, because it's not very good for your neck, and my neck actually hurts quite a bit at the moment. Thunder, I saw Thunder. I saw Thunder, was like, okay, we've got it. No, that's Thunder Wave, not Thunderbolt. Again, wrong PC. So maybe I should do this off screen, but at this point, I don't know if that's worth it anymore. Is it TMO2? You know what? I'm going to do this off screen. It's TM24. Finally, I found it. Thunderbolt. There we go. Let's give that to Zone, because with that special stat, Thunderbolt is going to annihilate anything that's either water or flying type. It's just that's kind of what Thunderbolt does. But with that special stat, it's going to be doing that even more. And honestly, I don't Thunder Shock anymore. I don't really need Tackle, but if I've got Thunderbolt, there's really no situation where I'm going to want to use Thunder Shock. And there might be some situation somewhere where I want to use Tackle. Probably not, but that just might be. Okay, so let's actually go into SILPH's Go now, and hopefully I can remember what to do. It's not been that long since I did it last time. In Pokemon Fire Red I had a bit of an issue trying to figure out where I was supposed to go. I think I remember. Because there's one teleport tile where you have to go onto it and then directly back through it. I just don't know on what floor it is. So, but I'll know it once I see it. So I'll just try to like randomly teleport places and try to find that place. I think that is going to be the best strategy for me. And once I find the card key or whatever it's called in here, I think I should be fine. I think it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But I do need to find that thing first. Which might take a little while because I'm already lost. I don't like this building. I should make that abundantly clear. Because it's so damn big. I probably should also mention we're now in Saffron City. I talked about this in Discord with a couple of people a little bit, and I thought about it a little bit myself. I'm going to count, as you can see, it's level 25 I'm facing, so let's just Psychic you and just murder the Charizard. I'm going to count the Pokemon in SILPH's Go and the Pokemon in Saffron City Fighting Dojo as both valid encounters, and that's a lot of experience, holy fuck. I'm going to count both of those as valid encounters because this dungeon, first of all, it's a dungeon. I do count it as a dungeon, it's very big. There's a lot of trainers. There's no wild Pokemon here, so you could argue there's not a separate encounter list. But I do count this as a dungeon just by its sheer size. This SILPH's Go, those maps together are larger than a good amount of cities in this game. And I think that is a pretty, that is including the inside of buildings inside cities. So I think that's a pretty good reason to see this as a separate area within the city rather than just part of the city. Because if that's the case, Saffron City is actually huge. And it's already the biggest city, I think, in the game. Is it? It might be. I think it is. But if you include SILPH's Go, I mean, SILPH's Go, I'm not saying it is, but it might be as big as Saffron City. It's probably a little bit smaller because Saffron City has some houses with like two stories, right? Let's go into Venom here. So I'm not saying it's as big, but it's pretty close. And the gym in this city isn't that large either. So, long story short, we're both going to get the Lapras and one of the randomized Hitmonlee or Chan, which are going to be randomized into something else. I'm hoping very much that something else means Mewtwo. I'm still hoping to get Mewtwo. I know there's a Mewtwo in a grass patch on route number 2. No, that's 23 actually. On route number 23, which I didn't catch, which I'm still pissed about. It would have probably died by now, which would have been sad because that would have been it for the entire series. Couldn't have gotten another Mewtwo. And now I still have like 6 more games at least to get a Mewtwo. I don't know, who should we go into? We haven't used Nick yet this episode. So, long story short, I'm hoping that I get a Mewtwo which I don't actually have to catch. Because if I can get a Mewtwo which I don't actually have to catch, I kind of like bypass the bullshit catching mechanics in Gen 1. That also goes for Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and normal Mew, by the way. But I prefer Mewtwo because Mewtwo is like very OP in Gen 1. And even in later generations, Mewtwo is very good. Whereas Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres, not as much. And that reminds me, this is being recorded the day after the Pokemon Direct where the expansion passes were announced for Sword and Shield and like everything that comes with that. And I'm probably like, I don't want to get into spoilers. I'm not going to get into spoilers too much, but there are Galarian forms for the legendary boons, it seems like. I haven't read up on it too much, but I like the designs. I don't know if they have different abilities, if they have different typings. Probably not different typings, I imagine. But they look very neat. And that's all I'm going to say. That's probably like one of the biggest spoilers. I'm sorry if you were trying to avoid spoilers for a DLC. Also, this video is gonna go up in like 2 weeks from now, so there's no way you have avoided spoilers about that for that long, right? Right? Hopefully. Probably should have thought about that a little bit more before talking about it. Okay, one other thing. Daxit is slowly being backpedaled, which I did not expect to happen. I fully expected Daxit to be like, okay, we've taken this blow, but from now on we can manage to not include all the Pokemon in future games. And now it does seem like the backpedaling, because in the expansion pack they're adding 200 or so new old Pokemon back. And even if you don't buy the DLC, you still get a free update to make the base game compatible with like 200 plus more Pokemon, which gets us fairly close to the full national Dex. It is about 200 or so away from the national Dex now in total. Dragonair. What am I going to do against a Dragonair? I really need an Ice type. I guess Blaze. I don't know. Why would I go into Blaze here is the question. That's a real bad idea. I mean, Slash is a good move. So maybe they'll add the other 200 Pokemon back in at some point as well, and we'll have the full national Dex. Meaning that they're going to, at some point in the future, probably have to do this entire thing again, where they don't include the entire Dex, because we're coming up on 1,000 Pokemon. And you can't keep including them all for like eternity, can you? There's going to be a point where it's just not feasible to include every single Pokemon, especially since it's now all 3D models. I mean, all 2D sprites. I would be a fan of them just ditching the 3D model thing and just going back to 2D sprites. Or at least something that looks like it. Right? You can do 3D in like a 2D aesthetic. Most people don't really appreciate it when you do that, so probably don't do that. But then again, the other thing that was announced was, and I'm aware that this is going up 2 weeks after the Direct, and everybody's probably tired of people talking about this, but I just watched it yesterday, so fuck you. There's also going to be a remake of the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for the Switch, with an entirely new like pop-up book art style, and I fucking love it. I need that game to sell well. If that game sells well, they're definitely going to remake Explorers of Sky. Sorry, I need to adjust my position real quick here. They're definitely going to remake Explorers of Sky if this game sells well, and I don't much care for this specific game. But if Explorers of Sky gets the same treatment, that's amazing. I mean, just go look it up. The art style, the new art style for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the remakes anyway, it looks amazing. It's so much better than the Gates to Infinity and Super Mystery Dungeon art style. It's ridiculous. This is what Pokemon Mystery Dungeon should have done going into 3D. There's still 3D models, I'm pretty sure. I can't really tell from like looking at it. There is a demo available. I just don't own a Switch, so I can't play the demo. From looking at it, it does look like it's still, at least the Pokemon are still 3D models, but the art style is like, well, it's a children's pop-up book, so it looks fairly like hand sketched and 2D, even though it might not actually be. And honestly, it's kind of like, what's that? Is that it's a Kirby game? The Yarn game, right? It's a Kirby game. Is that a Kirby game? I think both Yoshi and Kirby had a Yarn game, kind of like that, right? Because those still are 3D models, but they look very like hand drawn and 2D, and I appreciate that. I think we're finally at the right floor, by the way. No, we're not. Are we? I'm so fucking lost. I have no idea where I am. I got a calcium though. I suppose that's good. Again, no idea where I am. I know what to look for this time around. I just don't know where the fuck it actually is. This is not it either, is it? No, this is where I just was. I am very much confused. It's one of these kind of things where I don't understand. I do not understand. It's not in here either. I'm just gonna go down every single staircase. I think. Oh, rip. There you go. That's what I missed. Is this the place I have to be at? This might be the place I have to be at. I don't think this is the place I have to be at. No, this is not the place I have to be at. So this is going to be the rest of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe to this channel if you've enjoyed this video somehow. I would say if you enjoyed this video, you don't have particularly great taste in videos, because this video is just me complaining about this being confusing. Which, to be fair, it is. This is the place. It's the place. So what you have to do is you have to go through that and then go back immediately and fight this dude. It's so counterintuitive. It's so fucking counterintuitive as to what you have to do. At least it's only one viable, which is actually weak to Thanos. Also, I don't know why I'm leading with Thanos, because Thanos is the definition of a glass cannon. At least physically speaking. Anything with a special typing just absolutely gets destroyed by Thanos. Because Thanos can take special hits. I'm going to start leading with Lee. We haven't used Lee this episode yet, and Lee has pretty good coverage. Shit special stat, probably, actually. Let me check. Yeah, wow! Holy crap! So Fire Punch and Ice Punch are actually useless. Okay, let's switch you back. Because you're actually a piece of shit. You are a last resort kind of thing. Let's lead with Blaze, because Charizard is cool. This should be the card key, right? We're actually gonna do SILPH Go in one episode, guys. We're actually fucking doing it. Now I just need to find the bads. Where you can heal. I'm not gonna get that bingo message every time I use a card key, am I? I so totally... Oh my god, no! Who thought that was a good idea? That's horrible! That's... No! Just don't do that. Don't do that. Did I really... Wow. Just wow. Here we go. Rival Flight coming right up, and after that, immediately... Okay, after this, Rocket Grunt, that is. And after that, probably like one or two more Rocket Grunts, and then Giovanni! You're gonna be sorry. You're gonna be sorry that I don't know what you're gonna be sorry for. Just for being a criminal, I suppose. I'm very glad that I switched out into Blaze. Even though Blaze doesn't have Flamethrower yet. And Flamethrower... Does Flamethrower even exist in this generation? I think it does. It must, because Thunderbolt exists, right? And Ice Beam exists, so Flamethrower must exist, because those three make like a Triforce of sorts. Because you also have Thunder and Fire Blast and Blizzard, right? Those are the equivalent of the same types. They do the exact same thing, but for their type and their status effect. Actually, I don't think Fire... Can Fire Blast burn? I don't know if it can. To be honest, it might not be able to burn. I never used Fire Blast Blizzard. Wait a second, Blizzard has a higher accuracy in this generation. Do Thunder and Fire Blast have the same accuracy as Blizzard in this generation? Or did Blizzard get nerfed to match Thunder and Fire Blast? Or did all three get nerfed? I feel like I would know it was all three. I know specifically about Blizzard being OP in this gen. So I feel like it doesn't match with Thunder, and you can't even check properly either, because this generation is stupid and doesn't like to... Wait, what? you're supposed to bring me to my rival fight. Does this tile bring me to my rival fight? It does. Okay. I was very scared there that I misremembered something or yellow did something different. No, we're fighting Fred, and then we have to make room in our team. We probably will do that next episode, because next episode we have to do the gym. So we might as well like do both gyms, the fighting dojo and the actual gym. And then go get the... That's a horrible lead for me. That's actually a horrible lead for me. That's actually just a bad thing for me to have happen in general, Geodude. At least it's not a golem, I guess, but... we're gonna go back here and get a Lapras because I don't have room on the team at the moment, and this generation doesn't support things being sent directly to the box yet. As we learned with the Squirtle. I think. I mean, I'm gonna talk to the dude. Maybe it works. And maybe he even tells us it's a bad Pokemon and I don't even have to bother. That would even be better, honestly. If it just turns out to be a Magikarp, and I don't have to bother with it, that would probably be the best case scenario, because I've got so many Pokemon in the box at the moment. I'm not really concerned right now with getting more Pokemon if they're not very OP. I think my team at the moment looks very good. And I'm a little bit concerned about future generations, because I'm gonna go into those generations fairly overpowered. And I don't know how that's going to impact like the tension in the series, because going into a generation with a lot of like Pokemon is one thing, but I also have a lot of pretty good Pokemon. It's the thing, so that's probably gonna do a decent amount of damage. Oh my god, that did more than I thought. I guess we go into Lee. Lee, it's your moment to shine. Use your 38 special stat to use Fire Punch on this Jinx. Which, hey, that is racist Jinx. We're actually going to lose a Pokemon here? Are we actually going to lose a Pokemon here? I refuse. Venom, Baradi. Nick, potentially. Zone. We need to go into Zone. Zone can take a special attack any day with a 114 special stat. It's probably going to do like 25 damage. That was a critical hit. Probably would have done 25 damage otherwise. Even at a critical hit I can live. Thunderbolt, you're definitely not going to be able to live. Why would you lick me? That's gross and weird. Okay, so that's a Jinx. Probably one of the most scary things, depending on what his level 40 Pokemon is, obviously, on its team. Hitmonchan. We can deal with Hitmonchan easily, especially since we just saw how fucking low Hitmonchan's special stat is. There's no way in hell you're doing anything against me. If your Hitmonchan has better moves than mine, by the way, I'm going to lose my shit. We're never going to find out because you're going to absolutely get annihilated by a Psychic. Which only leaves your starter Pokemon, which is level 40, and it's going to be a Anticlimax. Very anticlimactic. It's a level 40 Bellsprout. Giovanni, I'm telling you, you better have something actually scary as your ace. Because I didn't grind all this way to level 38 for my entire team, including my box Pokemon, to face a level 40 Bellsprout. That being said, that Jinx would have been a problem if I wasn't this high level. It definitely would have been a problem. Also, this Bellsprout is taking fire type attacks way too well. It almost took out Probably should have done that earlier. So let's go back and heal and then face Giovanni, and again, it all fits within one episode. This might be the first time I've done the entirety of SILPH Co. within one episode. Which is insanity. Because I've played this game, this generation, this region, so many times now. I want you to have this Pokemon for saving us. It's a Porygon. Flog! We get Flog back! Hell yeah! Didn't we get Flog in... I remember... I'm gonna check this. And if I don't forget, I'm going to put a Flock was sent to the Pokemon box 1. Okay, so that does work. It's Lapras. No. It's Porygon. Which means that in the next generation, we're going to be able to get Porygon 2. And if we survive with Flock all the way up to Gen 4, we can get a Porygon Z, which is actually a good Pokemon. Didn't we get Flock from the same guy in Fire Red? I'm going to put a text on screen if I remember, which I probably should because I've got all the time in the world today. So I'm probably going to edit this today right after I finish recording it. So I probably will remember. I think we did. We did get it in Saffron City at any rate. I'm pretty sure we did. It might have been the Fighting Dojo in Fire Red, but I think it was here. I think we got a Porygon of this dude in 2 different games. Which is kind of funny. Oh, we don't have Rocket Grunt, we have Jesse and James. Of course, this is Pokemon Yellow. Which might make our lives actually easier. I don't know what levels you're going to be though. I imagine not like level 40, right? Right? You're cute. You're very cute. Let's just zone you. I'm gonna zone you. That's what we're calling sweeping now. We're calling it zoning. Don't disable my thunder. Fuck you! I fucking hate you! Of all the things to disable! I guess I'm sonic booming you. Wait a second. I was only disabled for 1 turn. So I can still zone you. I don't get the satisfaction of 1-hit KOing you. But I can still zone you. And I crit... Okay, you know what? That balances it out. That critical hit probably didn't matter. But that does balance it out. Hitmonlee, let's just stay in. Again, I'm gonna zone you. I think Zone might actually be a better Pokemon on my team than Thanos at the moment. Thanos is also very good though. But Zone is very fast, which means that Zone also gets all the critical hits. You're very much more special and more bulky, so you might actually live a Thunderbolt. You live the Thunderbolt, and of course that's the one time I don't get a critical hit. I guess that's why we have Tackle. Probably should lead with Zone, because Zone can pretty much take care of anything that's not a Geodude, or anything in its line, or a Graveler. Graveler is in its line. I want to say or an Onix. Anything in the Geodude line or Onix is a problem for Zone, but other than that, I think it can take care of literally anything in the game. Maybe not so much Zapdos. But even the other legendary birds shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. So, I just want you all to know that I'm going to get a Master Ball here. And if I encounter any legendary Pokemon in the wild, I'm using the Master Ball. Only on legendary Pokemon though. If I... It's a Lapras, it's topical because... We also have a Lapras actually. If it's any other Pokemon, if I run into what would be a Pokemon I really want at the moment, I don't know. I think I've got pretty much everything I need, other than legendary Pokemon. If it's a Dragonite, right? If it's a Dragonite, I will not use the Master Ball. If it's any of the 5 legendaries it can be, Mew, Mewtwo, or the legendary birds, I will use the Master Ball. That's the only time I'm allowed to use the Master Ball. Just so that we're all like on the same level here. That's how I'm going to go with the Master Ball. I usually go with I don't use the Master Ball in Nuzlocke. Dragonair. Talking about Dragonite. I think just going into Thanos. Okay, so Dragonair and Dratini. Dratini is very weak, so I don't really care about it. Dragonair is not a Pokemon that I don't really think Zone is very good for. Because obviously Dragon resists Electric. But for that we have Psychic on Thanos. With a critical hit still. Okay, so this is still ridiculously easy. Please give me a little bit more challenge. That is not a little bit more challenge. I mean, that is... You got the little part. You got that right. The challenge part, though, not so much. That was a little bit, like, underwhelming. It's not your ace. You can still... You outspeed me. You actually outspat me. I mean, I know Venom is, like, very average across the board. A better grass type. That's something... A Venusaur. I wouldn't mind to have a Venusaur. Or any grass type, really. But I think Venusaur is the best grass type in this generation, potentially. Maybe a Victory Bell. I wouldn't mind a Victory Bell. They're the same typing. Either or would work, really. Okay, so now a Nidoqueen. Wait a second. Do you normally have a Nidoking? I think normally you have a Nidoking, and then normally you have a Rhydon. That's it. For some reason, I always think Rhydon is very closely related to the Nidoking and Nidoqueen family. From like an evolutionary standpoint, and we should ask Birdkeeper Toby. He should know. Or we should just look at like the poster design. I'm fairly certain that probably Rhydon will be very close in that tree to the Nidoqueen and Nidoking line, right? It looks so similar, like in build and just in general design. If you take all the colors away, that is, they look very similar. Okay, so we just beat SILPH Go, and I think we did it in a fairly timely manner. I think we're about half an hour in, so this is pretty much a good end for the episode. After we get the Master Ball, that is. We will pick up the Master Ball, and probably not going to use it, but we might just use it. Again, legendary Pokemon encounters, we're going to use it. But until then, next episode we're going to go into the Sabrina's gym, and that's the 5th gym. I was going to say 5th, and I was like, is it the 5th or the 6th or the 4th? And then I was like, okay, and then just say Sabrina. We're going to go into the 5th gym, beat Sabrina. It's probably going to take quite a while because I always get confused by that puzzle as well. I hate teleporting tiles, I really do. And we're also going to get ourselves yet another new Pokemon in the Fighting Dojo. We're probably going to do that before the gym, though. Just to get a little bit more experience. I have no idea what the gym levels are going to be. I know not Lieutenant Surge. I know Koga has its highest level Pokemon. His Ace is level 50. And that's the next gym down the list. So I'm assuming like level 45? The level curve in this game is all over the fucking place and it's just weird. It's just weird. I think we'll talk about that more next episode because I'm going to record that immediately right now. Because there's probably going to be some grinding done between next episode and the one after that. Because again, Koga's level 50! See you guys next episode. Until then, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this video. I probably should start videos with that. Just from like a retention perspective. I'm going to try to incorporate that like in the middle or the start of videos. I'm just going to see how that works. I'll see you all back next time. And in Discord, join it. Link down below. Bye.